We're here.
We're
We're here.
We've
The
done it.
man. Leondaris. Is that it?
Leondaris, that's it.
Leondaris.
Yeah.
Greek?
Greek last name.
Greek.
Yeah, Greek.
Your father, obviously.
My grandfather.
Grandfather.
My grandfather. My father's Aboriginal.
So mixed with Aboriginal Greek.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah,
So
very
they've
nice,
got
yeah.
that dreamy fucking blue eyes,
Yeah, so-
dark skin, attractive man.
Yeah, for now. Until my teeth go missing and my nose breaks.
I was just saying off camera how fucking I'm surprised you look really unscathed, and you were saying how you pretty much didn't get hit in your first 10 fights.
Bro. Defense, man.
Yeah.
Defense. And I'll tell you what, like, I started really young, and like I said, I was a big boy. So fighting these grown men when I was 86 kilos, these aren't just grown men, but they're big grown men. And if they hit you, I didn't have the physicality to stay up from those shots.
You were fighting at 86 kilos when you were younger.
Yeah, man, 86. And even my first fight was open weight.
So you were fighting naturally 95, 100 kilo men.
Oh, yeah, bro. And I still had big titties on me, like puppy fat.
So you were
Dude, I was really
young fat going.
Yeah, real fat. Like, my heaviest, I was over the 120s.
Bullshit.
Yeah, bro.
Really?
Yeah, and that was when I was like 13, bro.
No shit. Man, your family has such a good legacy in Australia.
Bro. Yeah.
I only met you recently, but I've heard your name before, but I didn't realize, because I think you first told me how you were like third generation fighter. And then I was talking to Miles, and I was like, "Yeah, his family are legends in the game."
Bro, it's like a superpower, bro.
Yeah,
it's a superpower because one, I've had all this training and all these learning experiences from my father and my grandfather, and my entire family is all involved. Like my uncles fought, I had an auntie that fought. Even my mother, she'd call me for fights and stuff like that. So all the family was involved in it, you know.
And did they start off with karate base like your grandfather?
Yeah, karate, like a freestyle karate. It's called Zendukai.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so started by Bob Jones. That's actually they started like branched off into Muay Thai. So that's what brought Muay Thai into South Australia.
You can really see it in your style. You got that kind of real more side-on stance.
Yeah,
and you can leap in and cover distances that really like really fucking sporadically, really quickly. So you're always in range.
Yeah, and I can change my style because Muay Thai has got a very unique style because you got to be heavy on the back foot and you got to get ready for checks. See, if I do that against someone who knows what they're doing and can chop the legs, I'm going to get my leg eaten up. So to go between the Muay Thai stance and then mix it up, maybe a bit of a boxing stance when you're in close, move your head, it's a bit of an advantage because these guys, they only got one style. Whereas if I can do 2-3 styles just in the one round, people don't know what the fuck's going on, you know?
I feel like modern Muay Thai as well, because traditionally Muay Thai fighters weren't like really renowned for their hands. It was very heavy kicking based. But now I feel like with modern Muay Thai styles, you do have those Muay Thai fighters that have fucking excellent hands as well.
Bro, yeah.
So it's like there's like a new kind of modified Thai stance that there is now, where you're also ready for kicks, but you also can explode with your hands, because a lot of Muay Thai fighters now have hands like boxers' hands.
Yeah, boxers, like if you follow the boxing principles, a lot of times you're going to get caught out because if you move your head a little bit too much, you're going to get kicked in the head. If you're too heavy on the lead leg, you're going to get your leg kicked out. So it's just you got to adapt to each style accordingly, you know. You can't just go out full out of boxing starts because you're going to get eaten up.
Oh, bro, I'll never forget. I was sparring this bloke called Harry Gabrielson one day. He used to be a weapon. He used to fight for M16. Big old fucking legs. And I remember we were sparring once, and I kept like leaning my head to the left. And Miles was like, "You're going to get knocked out." And straight up, as soon as he called it, I fucking just ate I dipped, and I've just eaten a shin to my face, and I was like out on my feet. But it's true. You got to kind of be. But then it's different with MMA as well. It's like
very different.
Such different sports.
It is. I like the new genre of MMA fighter that's evolving, like JDM and Tuporia, where their hands are just so sharp, bro.
Oh man, it's
so sharp.
And then you got like what you just won. Shout out to your new win and your new championship against Curran. That was fucking wild.
That was a wild fight, bro.
Caged Muay Thai might be my favourite upcoming sport.
Yeah.
Caged Muay Thai is so fun, man.
It's lethal. There's heavy consequences for everything you do.
Yeah.
And it keeps you honest because you can't just stand there with your guard up.
You got the gloves are gonna come straight through.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was an exchange in the second or maybe third round where he got me, and then I kind of just sat back and was like, okay, I'm gonna block these shots. But then they just come through the middle, around the side. So, and then I just had to move. It keeps you honest, like, because if you stay in the same spot for too long.
A tough bloke, man.
Bro, he's tough.
He's a tough bloke.
That's his game, bro. That's his game. Like, he'll make the fight hard for him in order to make it hard for you.
I respect it.
Oh yeah, I respect it too, man. Like a lot of people
Drag
honestly,
you into a war.
a lot of people give him shit for having that type of style, bro. But unless you've actually come against that style and know how hard it is in those type of fights, you got to respect it.
Is there a fear? Because every fighter says they don't have fear walking in there. I imagine it's a bit of a front. I imagine there always has fear involved in fighting.
Oh yeah, always.
When you know that you're going in with someone that you know is going to make it a fight, is there always that, like, fuck sakes, like, I can be as technical as I want?
There is, but I also like to fight.
Yeah.
So I knew going in, all right, I probably got the better skill than him. It's going to work one of two ways. I'm going to put it on him and my skill's going to outmatch him, or it's going to be a hectic freaking fight. And he rocked me 5 seconds into the fight. So that's when my mindset changed, like, okay, I'm going to be here all night. This is going to be a hard fight.
That spinning, the one you dropped him with, that spinning fucking straight or spinning hook, was it?
It was a spinning back fist.
Spinning back fist into a straight right.
Yeah.
Bro, when I wasn't watching live, and then I seen that, and I thought that was a clean knockout.
He got up, bro. He got up. But you know what? He's so tough, and I knew he was going to be so tough that even when I knocked him down and he was starfished, I'm thinking he's getting up. He's getting up, and sure enough, he did. And he probably actually won the round other than the knockdown.
Really?
So that just speaks to how tough he is. He got up from that and then put it on me. They stopped it between round 3 and 4 with his ears. He was in a bad way, but I think if we win again, I don't know. Who knows?
That'd be a good one to run back.
It'd be a good one to run back, man. If my brain cells can cop it, you know. If my brain cells can cop it.
Do you what's your record at the moment?
10-3.
10-3.
10-3.
Fucking. How old are you?
21.
That's a lot of fights for a 21-year-old.
Yeah, but I had a lot of junior fights.
I was going to say you probably have a lot of that aren't even on your record.
Yeah, in the kickboxing and the karate, I started out with point fighting.
Yeah, right.
So,
you can kind of see that in your style too. Like how you obviously can bite down and fight, but if it goes your way, it's generally going to be a pretty clean, concise fight.
I like it. I like to be clean. I like it to be technical, and I like to win with my brain. You know, because a lot of these guys, they're really tough guys, really fit guys, but they don't have the fighting brain that I have. So I want to be able to beat them technically with skill rather than just having to outdog them, because longevity-wise, it's probably not good for you, you know, doing all these hard fights. So the more fights I can have that are clean and decisive like that, the better, you know.
Can you recall a time in a fight where you're like, oh, this is fucking wild? Like, it was a bit overwhelming? Yeah,
the last one, and also I fought for an Australian title when I was 18, and I lost. So ever since then, I've been kind of wanting to get back into the hard fights, but I just haven't had one other than Sean recently.
Has your father would be in your corner?
Yeah, my father and my grandfather.
Oh, bro, they would be more stressed than you.
Oh yeah, my father especially, bro. He gets stressed. I could see it. He doesn't tell me, but I could see in his eyes when it's a hard fight. Like, fuck, I'm seeing my son get.
It also would be hard to break, because I imagine for both of your benefit, you're going to got to sever the father-son relationship for that 25 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever it may be.
Every night, 3 hours every night, you got to sever it. It's not just it's a switch that's hard to switch on and off.
But you've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, it's like second nature now. So.
I couldn't imagine sending my kid in there. It'd be fucking everyone that I don't know. I've never coached, obviously, but everyone that has transitioned from being a fighter that I know to a coach always says coaching's way more stressful.
Oh, dude, it is, because I do a little bit of coaching as well too for youngins and little amateurs coming up. It's way more stressful because you're not in control anymore. As soon as the bell goes and they're fighting, it's up to them. You can't do nothing except for watch and call out moves to do or something like that. But it's up to them.
And you don't even know if they're listening half the time.
Nah, or they don't listen half the time. You know.
Or it's in the head. That's in the heat of the moment. Are you actually hearing anything?
It depends.
It
depends. I used to be able to hear my corners.
Yeah.
My opposing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the opposing corner, because it'd be in like smaller shows and you hear the corner. And my father and that, they're not very loud. Like, especially if I'm doing the right thing, they just kind of stay quiet. You know, they're not cheerleaders, they're coaches. So everything they want to tell me is in between rounds. Whereas I'd hear the other corner, he'd go right kick. I'm like, okay, right kick's coming. Like, lean back, you know. So I used to cheat, almost not cheat, but
you used to use that as a little tool.
Yeah, exactly.
To help.
I'd listen out to the other corner.
That's what I loved about when COVID hit and the UFC was doing their fights in the on the Yas Island in Abu Dhabi, and the fight institutes and stuff, because there was no fans. you could hear the corners,
dude.
and it's such an eerie sound when there's no one cheering and you can hear
dude.
the whacks.
Yeah, it's intimate. It's intimate. I actually fought during COVID in Team Turner's boxing gym, and it was a small little like rinky-dink show, you know, and it was similar. It was dead silent. Usually when you rock up to the fights, you hear the roar of the crowd, you smell the smell of alcohol and DP, and you're in the zone. You're in the zone. You're there. But for something like that, you just rock up to a normal gym, you're getting ready to fight. It's like, am I about to fight right now?
Yeah,
or what's going on?
Hasn't hit yet.
Yeah, so it didn't really hit me then. But then when it hit me.
Yeah,
you know, that woke me up.
And then you got Pride coming up.
Yeah, Pride coming up.
It's probably the best fucking Muay Thai show. It's definitely the best in Adelaide. But like, she'd be up there with some of the best in Australia now, man.
She does a good job, bro.
I love it. I love the venue in the warehouse. It makes it feel like a bit fight clubby.
Yeah, dude. To be honest, it's perfect, man. It's good to fight on. It's almost the perfect show. Like if she could get some bigger names headlining and like stack the card up, easily could be the biggest show in Australia.
Have you? What's the biggest show you fought on? Because with Muay Thai, it's hard. There's so many different shows and belts and promotions. It's hard to keep track of unless you're really embedded in the sport.
It is. So I fought on a few bigger shows, a few smaller shows. It depends in terms of opportunity.
Yes.
Like the person you're fighting and where it gets you afterwards, or just the amount of eyes on you.
The eyes.
Yeah. Well, in terms of the amount of eyes, it'd be the last show, DFC, and that's not even a Muay Thai show.
That was fantastic, man.
Yeah.
Like I said, Cage Muay Thai just has a certain violence about it that's really exciting because it's just the most violent. It's the most violent of all of them.
It is. You make one mistake and you're done for.
Yeah, and one thing that's people always forget is the eight count makes the sport so much more fucking brutal. Because say you dropped Curran with that.
Oh, yeah, it's done.
And then it's done. You're following it up. He's done. But then he gets back up.
Yeah.
And he's fucking concussed. And then he still kind of wins the round. Like, it's so much more violent. That's why there's more brain injury and stuff with boxing and stuff.
Oh, boxing especially, man. Muay Thai is different because there's so many different weapons still. It's basically anything goes except for when it goes to the ground. So you got so many different ways. You can chop the legs, keep them at range, clinch. So there's not as much head trauma, but when you put 4-ounce gloves on, because the most efficient way to beat your opponent is by punching them in the 4-ounce gloves. Like you've seen with me and Sean, it became almost a caged boxing match. You know what I mean? With the occasional like spinning kick or elbow, you know, and that probably isn't good for longevity. But you see the one championship guys that adjust, they do a good job of defending, you know.
I love it, man. One championship, fucking so fun to watch. When like Liam Harrison was fighting, I don't know. Actually, I think he's having another one. I don't know if he's retired anymore.
I think he just had one.
And I think Rod Tang's fighting English bloke.
Rod Tang, I think they're gonna do some type of tag team match with Rod Tang.
Really?
Rod Tang and Superlek versus Toolboy. And I don't know the other opponents, but
The English here is English is a weapon as well.
Haggerty.
I think it's Haggerty. They're going to do like a tag team style match.
Something like that. I don't think Haggerty's fighting him.
I like a bit of fucking.
Dude, I like wrestling. So anything wrestling, bro, I'm all in.
Like the WWE wrestling.
I love it, bro.
You love it.
I watch it every week, bro.
Every week.
I've
only just started kind of watching bits here and there again, and I went to the wrestling. Actually, there was a World Wrestling Championship. World Series Wrestling.
Yeah.
I went last week, and it was fucking fun.
It's fun, bro. It's entertaining.
They're athletic as shit.
But the marketing and the promote is genius.
Yeah.
Because you got to think about it. They sell fights that aren't real.
Yeah, it's very true.
But listen to this. The audience knows it's not real. But
they still
watch it. They still buy shirts. And they're WWE, they're selling out stadiums every single week.
Yeah.
Multiple times a week. Like, these guys are geniuses.
Yeah, I've been slowly getting back into it. I'm actually live streaming, me and my mates are live streaming us watching WrestleMania.
Yeah.
2 Sundays away.
Yeah, John Cena, man.
John Cena's turned heel.
He's a bad guy.
That
was big.
And have you obviously always grew up in the martial arts space then?
Yeah.
Always?
Yeah, always. It's always been a part of me. It was kind of normalized. Like, I didn't understand that no one else, like, you know, when you're a kid, you grow up, you think it's just normal. Like, all your uncles fight, your auntie fights, you know, father, grandfather fights. But then as I grew up, I kind of realized, like, oh shit, like this is a unique spot I'm in. You know, so
It's also good for not straying down the wrong path.
It
You
was.
seem like a pretty smart, like you
Yeah,
grew
I
up
mean,
pretty smart.
I mean, when I was younger, you know, even though martial arts was always a part of my life, I kind of wanted to stray away and try something else. And I found that without martial arts, I have nothing. You know, no structure, no discipline. Like I took 2 years off after my loss for the Australian title, and bro, that was bad. Like I couldn't even rock up to the gym because I got so big, and like just eating and all that stuff. You look for, see, a fight, you're like, there's so many different emotions and they're all intense, right? And whether they're good, whether they're bad, but you miss that intensity. And from life, you just don't get it unless you go and find it, which is usually not in a good source.
I was going to say there'd be no rush like fighting besides like some really hardcore fucking drugs or something.
drugs,
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, something
Like,
crazy or just risky behavior.
just something fucking
yeah,
stupid.
something stupid. And it was getting to that point, you know, because I was young as well. It's like, nah, I got to get back fighting, man. Otherwise, this ain't gonna turn out too good.
What is that feeling like when the ref pulls you off or the name gets called out and it's been a close fight and it's your name? Like, what is it?
Well,
what can you ever attribute that to?
Ooh, relief. Like everything just all the weight on your shoulders just leaves. It just leaves, and then you start to feel happy or sad if you lost. But with more fights, I've kind of not been going too up and down, because that's not a healthy way to live. You know, if you're happy because you win and that's it, you're not going to be happy, because eventually you're going to lose.
Well, that's always been the beauty in Muay Thai. Muay Thai, from what I understand when I was growing up, it was all about how many fights you'd had, not your wins and losses.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, people would celebrate the 100 fights more than they'd celebrate a 20-0 career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, John Wayne Parr, I think he's on fucking like 200, 300 fights or whatever he had.
Yeah, he's had 150, I think.
Yeah, on the
including
books.
boxing.
On the books. He
Yeah.
probably has had fucking 7,000. Who knows? They fight like 6 times in one night in
Oh,
Thailand.
and when they're kids as well, they'll have 100 fights before they turn 12.
That's a sad one, actually. I had to like mute his videos for a bit because he's going through like a little.
Yeah.
He was going through a pretty sad decline, and he's formed like a Tourette's,
Yeah, I
which
know
is
that.
pretty sad. And he's such a legend. But it just shows you, man, he's been in so many fucking wars.
Yeah, man, and he was doing that for no money at the start of his. Like, he's just doing it for the love of fighting. Man.
He'd have to be the most accomplished Muay Thai Western athlete of all time. It'd be so hard to beat him.
Yeah, definitely Australian. Definitely Australian.
Australian athlete. Like, he was the first one that the Thais really accepted as well. He really embedded himself into Thai culture.
Yeah, like fighting on King's birthday and stuff with 150,000 people. What's crazy, and people, the Thais loved him as well.
That's the thing. They just loved him because he was so immersed in the culture. And it's like, Muay Thai for a lot of people, it's not just a fight sport. It's like a religion. Like,
It's a religion. It's based in tradition, tradition and respect.
it's a more brutal version of like a karate. Like, karate has its own, like, traditional karates have their own beliefs and like myths and stories, and Muay Thai is the same, except it's a way more brutal version of that.
Yeah, well, karate is for bettering yourself. It's not it's not used to compete against other people. That's not the primary.
People
goal
shit
of
on karate a lot. I think karate's a really good base. If you wanted to fight,
yeah.
I think karate's a really solid base to start with.
Well, you can draw from everything.
Yeah.
You could draw footwork from basketball and apply it to fighting, and it can work. You know what I mean? But karate is for bettering yourself and living a certain way. So of course, a 60-year-old black belt is not going to be able to compete with a 20-year-old Muay Thai fighter or professional MMA, because he trains to fight. Whereas in karate, it's all about these values that are
discipline and value
discipline,
system.
values, and then on top of that, you learn how to defend yourself.
I feel like the new karate is jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
Jiu-jitsu's fun because you can go 100% on the mats and still not get injured. If you're rolling with people that aren't trying to murder you, you can go very hard and simulate a fight.
and it's technical, man.
Yeah.
It's technical. Like as a striker, there's a stigma around jiu-jitsu. Like, these jiu-jitsu guys are soft, but I've always seen the beauty in jiu-jitsu.
If a jiu-jitsu guy grabs you, man, you're
you're done.
fucked.
You're done, man.
People don't understand how fucked they are, though.
You feel useless.
At
At least in a stand-up fight, you have a puncher's chance.
You don't have one in jiu-jitsu.
Nah, he can do whatever he wants.
I
with
heard
you.
you got a bit fucking good with it. I think you did the First Nations, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I did.
With Adam Jones.
Yeah,
Adam
dude, that
Jones,
was
Adam
cool,
Jones
man.
says you did pretty fucking good too.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, I was okay, man. Like,
You're a natural fight. Well, in my experience, I've seen like people that have never done jiu-jitsu before but have a striking pedigree such as yourself. Your natural instinct is to get the fuck off the mat. As soon as someone puts you on your back in a bad position, immediately you're like a caged fucking line. Like, you don't want to be there.
Yeah.
So your first initial instinct is to get your ass off of that mat. So it wouldn't be that much of a learning curve for you.
No, I like it, bro. I like it because it's new, it's different, and you're learning something every
Different
session,
muscles.
man. Different muscles. There's only so much you can learn really before you have to innovate and make up things yourself in the striking, and then just get really, really fit, and then train really hard for a stand-up fight. But
I was going to say, your camps right now, they wouldn't be learning new techniques and skills. It would just be sharpening and honing and fitness.
there's always room to learn, but that's outside of camp.
That's the fun stuff's
Yeah.
outside. The camp is purely for sharpening.
Yeah, sharpening, getting really fit, getting down on weight, and then preparing for whatever opponent. Like, everyone's just a shape with a skill set and a technique, and they're a puzzle. And as the fighter, it's your job to figure out that puzzle.
Do you watch a lot of film on your opponents?
Yeah.
Everything?
I slow it down, man.
Your family as well, members, you will sit together and game plan?
Every Sunday we watch UFC.
I was just going to ask, did you grow up, did they grow up watching like MMA?
Everything.
Everything.
Boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, MMA. Like, I'm not specifically drawn to any martial art. It's all martial arts.
Just like watching fights.
Oh, dude, yeah, and everything's. I appreciate the beauty in everything, man. Yeah.
I remember I went to a pure boxing gym once, and like, you know, and you train, you think you got really good hands, but you've been training in like an MMA gym or a Muay Thai gym, and then you go to a boxing gym.
Different level, man.
Bro,
Different level.
It's so much harder than people think. Like,
different level. Amateurs, man.
But you can't hit them. Like,
no.
If they're capable and have been training a long time, people don't understand how much you just can't fucking hit a boxer.
Nah, no chance, man. No chance. Even, like, I'm a professional level Muay Thai fighter. I go to any boxing gym, I'll have amateurs light me up.
Yeah.
Amateurs, man. Who maybe haven't even had a fight. You know, but obviously it's just because it's their style.
They're two weapons.
And they train every day, but they hone that style like to a point where it's like next level.
Do you prefer the 4 ounce? How many times have you fought cage Muay Thai?
One.
Did you like it?
I liked it.
Oh, we almost got him, boys.
I liked it.
You're gonna bring him over to the dark side.
Well, even like in those old karate tournaments I did, we were just wearing mittens, bro. It wasn't even gloves. It was a mitten. It was a mitten. Yeah. So getting clocked in the nose with a mitten.
Was it a learning curve? Like, obviously, were you trying to spar in them a little bit?
Oh,
like
yeah.
Sparring?
For the full camp, I was sparring and moving. I was scheduled to fight Karen the year before as well.
Yeah, you got pulled out with injury.
Yeah, so I've done 2 whole camps in those small gloves, and because I train with some MMA fighters too. I put the MMA gloves on for them. So
do you have to punch different in them?
You do.
Yeah, straighter,
more accurate, but it's more so for training. You're not going to smash pads in 4 ounce gloves. You're not gonna smash pads every day as hard as you can with 4 ounce gloves. You gotta change your style a little bit around how you train. So what I was doing was I get these little mittens, and they're like the Muay Thai mitts, like bag mitts, and I'd be able to go maybe 80% on the pads with those. But then on the hard days when I would do really hard, like body shots, ripping the body and stuff, I'd put on the 12s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just spar and move in the 4s or the 6s just to get used to the defense. The defense is probably
the hardest thing.
Because
you got to slip, like, it's different. You can't just fucking, like you said, you can't
just wear it, man.
You can't just wear it. You got to kind of parry everything. It's more parrying heavy as well.
Parrying heavy, head movement heavy, distance heavy. Like, it keeps you honest, because if you stay in the same spot, you're gonna get cracked.
Did you did you struggle initially with finding your distance? Because that extra like 6 to 8 ounces, it might add like 3-4 centimeters on the glove.
Yeah, well, distance was okay. I just got cracked straight off the bat.
Did you?
Yeah, straight off the bat. 5 seconds in, man. 5 seconds in, he hit me with the best shot he had.
It's a different sting, eh?
You feel it. I feel now that I've done both, I feel like the 10 ounce or the 12 ounce is maybe a bit more concussive.
Yeah,
like it's a thud and you're like you can't see straight.
But the 4 is more of a sharper pain.
Yeah, dude,
it's direct to one area.
It just messed up my face, man. It just messed up my face was a mess. But my brain actually was okay.
I feel like there would be I reckon getting hit with 10s and 12s is way worse. Like you said, I reckon it rattles your head more. Whereas like a 4 ounce is such a sharp and small surface. It just really, that's why you get more cuttings and swells. Yeah,
I think too that going down sometimes is a choice. Maybe not your choice, but maybe your inner self's choice. Like, what the hell was that? Like, that was bad. Alright, go down. Whereas in the boxing gloves, because you don't have that initial crazy pain, you get hit 3, 4, 5 times before you go down. So instead of getting hit once clean with the MMA gloves and going down, you're getting hit 6 times.
Have you ever dealt with, like, knock on wood, have you ever dealt with injury through your career?
Not any sort of serious like ligaments or anything like that. Concussions a little bit from training.
Training.
Yeah, just from training, man. Like people.
Do you spar pretty hard?
I used to, not anymore. Not anymore. There's value in all different types of sparring. So going light, obviously, most of the time. Medium level sparring, hard sparring every now and then. You know, if you do hard sparring every week
With the right opponent.
yeah, with the right person, they need to know what they're doing, and they need to be on the same wavelength as you.
It's also good to, like, I imagine for a young up-and-coming fighter to have those sessions where it gets turned on really hot and just see how you go.
Yeah, well, there's people around that put me in my place. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter how good you are. Every now and then you go in a room and you're the worst fighter in the room. You know, and there's a room full of killers, and then you're just getting fed to them.
Do you recall a time where, because every young man, when they start excelling at fighting, they will get a thing where they like think they're a bit of a king dick.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, for sure.
Do you recall a time where you were getting a bit too big for your boots, and then you became a nail for a day, and you were like, oh fuck.
Yeah, in training,
Yeah.
I've always been humbled because I go out of my way to get humbled.
Yeah.
You know, and my father, they made sure that, all right, if you're getting too big for your bridge, you got to go and spar this guy. He's going to put you in your place. All right. But in terms of fighting, I won like 5 in a row when I was about 16.
Oh.
And that's like the peak time of like
Of the testosterone.
yeah, and especially like you just won 5 fights in a row against like adults, and then
You're the man.
then you go to school the next day, and then people were like, you know, like, yes man, like blowing smoke up your ass and stuff. It almost got there, but then I lost.
Yeah.
So
It's really good to do that. Like, we have, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Declan Moody.
Yeah.
From
Yeah,
M16. Like, he was just such a hammer. Like, his whole, like in Adelaide, he could have stayed in Adelaide his whole life and just been the fucking ultimate hammer.
Yeah.
But then he chose to go to B team in Austin and be the nail.
dude, he's cool.
And now he's just, you need to be a nail to level up.
Yeah, he's good. He's so unassuming too. Like I did the First Nations program.
Yes, yeah.
And it was my first ever proper jiu-jitsu session, right? And he was just there doing some weights, and then during the open mat, like I didn't know who any of these guys were, like because I wasn't in tune with who the best jiu-jitsu players. So I just thought he was just some guy doing the weights. And he came in for the open mat afterwards, and he started rolling with all these beginners, and he rolled with me, and he was like going sort of easy on me. And then afterwards, I look on Instagram, and it's the best grappler around. I'm thinking, man, like if he's got a humbleness to him as well, from what I've seen.
Do you, when you're watching, say, like you're watching a featherweight, or actually you'd probably be a lightweight if you were to fight MMA, I believe.
Or maybe welterweight.
You'd be welter?
Yeah, 77.
Yeah, 77 welter. Do you look at some of these fights and, like, in your head, that little... Because every fighter has a small ego in their head.
Yeah.
You have to fight.
I watch all of them anyway.
Do you watch and you're like, oh, I could fucking...
I watch all of them anyway.
I could compete here.
I got them all on a list.
Yeah, you do?
Yeah. Not even in terms of like, oh, I'm gonna fight this guy, beat this guy, but just potentially it could happen.
One day.
It's just a little 1%er. Like little 1%ers eventually they make for 100%. You know? So just by writing this guy's name down, okay, he's a welterweight. In 3 years, maybe he's a pro. In 4 years, okay, maybe he's the champ of Eternal. And then that way, every time he fights, I can watch it and study it. And then by the time he's the champ, I already know everything about him.
I'm making a absolute run at the moment to get Eternal back to Adelaide.
Oh, dude.
I'm going to throw your name in it too. I'll be like, fucking Leondaris MMA debut in Adelaide on Eternal.
Yeah, something like that.
You did. I reckon, realistically, from what I've heard about your jiu-jitsu, because naturally, I really struggle to think people would be able to hang with you on the feet at the moment in MMA. Anyone. So I reckon, obviously, if they have a fight IQ, their first plan of attack is to fucking run apart. Just run when that bell starts and grab your legs and just try and take you down. If you could mitigate that, I reckon you'd be very successful as it stands in MMA.
Yeah. Well, not even mitigate, because like I've been training.
You can engage with it even.
I've been training, and I will never make that leap unless I'm smashing people on the ground.
Yeah.
I don't just want to survive. I want to take people down
Thrive.
and beat them there.
Oh, bro,
you know?
that'd be terrifying.
So, you know, it might come, but it might take some time.
There's some natural progression with, like, if Muay Thai clinching and some cage work as well that you'd already have in there, like, subconsciously.
Yeah, there's some unique stuff that you can apply.
Look at Pereira and all these people.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
They're jumping over when they're 30. You're still in your young 20s. Like,
yeah, I mean,
lots of time.
But also MMA is evolving so quick.
Yes.
So these guys that are young, they're training every aspect of the game.
Yeah.
And by the time they're 30, Pereira's age, they're gonna be well versed in every single aspect, even the unique spots like the cage wrestling and stuff like that. So I think in 10 years' time, everybody is going to be so good at everything that maybe these strikers, unless they're a special someone like Pereira, he's got the touch of death in his left hand, and that's a problem for anybody. I think there's going to be less specialists. All just pure MMA, but they're so good at everywhere.
You got fairly good power too.
Yeah, pretty decent.
You got
man.
good power.
Pretty decent, especially when I dropped down in weight, because I was fighting big guys, and I didn't have a very good knockout ratio for my first 10 fights. But then as soon as I dropped down, they were gone. It felt like punching nothing, bro.
You also grow into that. There's
Yeah,
you still got another set of strength to reach yet from when you're like maybe in your later 20s.
I will
like
find my man strength.
Then you find exactly
Yeah.
like it's real. It's fucking true though. Like
Yeah.
there's a strength that people can find in their later 20s as well.
And just confidence too, not confidence as in thinking, you're very good, but confidence actually in the fight. Whereas, okay,
Committing to shots.
committing to the shot, all you got to do is touch him. If you use the right technique, if you bring your power from your feet and you get in the right spot with your feet first, and you hit that shot and it lands, he's gonna go down.
What is it like Pereira? Obviously, when you see him fight, he does not hit people hard.
Oh, he does.
But like when you watch him, he's not putting every bit of his fucking being into it.
No, he doesn't have
like
to.
It's just well placed and he whips it. Have you ever been in a fight where the bloke's touched you and you're like, oh my god, that's fucking so different?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, or even like when you kick them, they're just made of something that you hunt.
Yeah, in my first ever fight, and who knows where this kid is, because he's from Kazakhstan, and it was open weight. And I don't know if it's just because he was so big. He was about 120. I was probably about 90, 95 kilos. This was in Thailand as well, in the WKA World Championships.
Your first fight was against a Kazakhstanian.
Yeah, I was 14 because I couldn't find any matches here, because I was 14 and I was 90 kilos. Like there's no kids that are 14, 90 kilos fighting. There was no kids fighting in general back at that time, So I had to wait till I was 16 to fight an adult, or go to Thailand and find some fight like this. So I found this fight in the World Championship tournament, and next thing you know, I'm across the cage from this big Kazakhstanian, and first kick I land knocks him down. Like a front kick to the chest, he goes down, and I'm thinking, it's just like every other karate tournament. I'm just gonna style on him. But then he gets up and hits me with this. To this day, it rocked me. I'm probably still rocked from it. I don't think I've been the same since. Seriously, hit me that hard, and he was on some weird kung fu shit. Like when he would hit me, he'd be screaming. So like I'll go from karate tournament fighting about like skills. You're not meant to hit him as hard as you can, to this Kazakhstani kid in Thailand
Actually trying to murder you.
Trying to murder me, bro. And I don't even think that they choose to do that. I think they're forced to do that because conscription or something over there. So I think they're supposed to compete or train at least this many years in a martial art. So because he had this look about him, I was like, man, do you even want to be here? And then he came at me and tried to kill me. So I was thinking, like, maybe he was just out of spite. That's where his power came from, or maybe he just had the touch of it. Who knows? But I was also 14, so
yeah,
maybe it was just that. My father also used to hit me really fucking hard when I was 14.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you? So how old would your father be now?
He's 40.
He's young.
Yeah, he's young father, man.
Young.
He's
He could still fucking hang with you then.
Yeah, bro, he does. But there's a psychological block too, because he felt like Francis Ngannou when I was 5 years old. He'd slap me, right? Because he felt like that. In my mind, he still hits like that.
Yeah.
So I can't even get close to him, man. I'm still scared of him.
I was gonna say, like, did you ever used to kind of spar?
Every day, man.
Every day.
We'd walk through the hallway and throw shots at each other.
That's so fucking weird to me, to my mind.
Yeah, dude. Like just playing around. He'd been throwing punches at me since I was a baby, man.
It's much like the Khabib thing of how Islam essentially could probably beat Khabib, but psychologically he would never be able to, because he like a idol and such a respect factor, and you have in your head that he's better than you.
Like a mental.
It's
block
a psychological
yeah,
thing.
because I'm like that with my father. I don't think even now, if it was really gone, I don't think I could take him. Even though physically, like I'm bigger, and I'm a fighter.
You're
now.
in your prime.
Yeah, I don't think I can, just because of mentally. I probably won't show him this. But.
So yeah, he's 40.
Yeah, he's 40,
young.
or maybe 41.
And your grandfather?
He's 60.
Yeah, right. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And fuck, they're still young enough to be able to eventually, when you have kids, to corner one of them.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. That would be such a fourth generation.
I actually haven't thought about that.
And you get like, generationally, you will just get better, because your grandfather would have taught your father what not to do from his knowledge, and then your father would be telling you what not to do is the more important than what to do. So every generation, you're just making less mistakes of the father.
Yeah, I think so. But also, it's like a superpower having them both because they're both polar opposites.
Oh, really?
In not just in the way they fought when they were fighters, but also in the way they train. So my grandfather, he's hard line, old school. He'll train you mentally. Whereas my father, he more adapts to my style and is technical.
Whereas your grandfather would just run you down to the gauntlet.
Yeah, bro.
Just grind you and grind you.
Yeah.
Which is so needed. I remember
It is.
one of my best mates, Josh, he used to train at Flinders when Flinders was the gym. When Alan Wong was just his psycho. And he was just pulling out amazing fighters every fucking year. And Josh goes, still to this day, I have PTSD from those training sessions.
Oh, bro.
Because Alan would make you just do the fucking wildest shit. Like
Trying to break you.
Yeah, just break you every session. But he still has he still has this fear in him. So he's a bigger lad now because he doesn't train anymore. He could still hit 20k right now. As a bit chunkier, and he just because of that,
He knows how to struggle.
he know I fucking see. As soon as something gets too hard for me physically, I'm fucking done.
Go train with Alan Wong, man.
Yeah, I'll fucking vomit. I'll die.
We'll find him, man.
I'll die. But yeah, it's that learning how to like be fine with struggling.
Yeah.
And like pushing past your body's own capable because you're capable of way more than your body thinks it is.
100 weight, so double, triple. You know, like even in terms of fitness with fighting. There's a lot of people that are efficient with their shots. There's a lot of people that are really fit, like marathon level fit. But then when it gets hard, that's when the fitness starts. Then it's how fit are you really?
You're not really a massive volume striker though. You're more of like a aim and shoot, like a sniper.
It depends.
You can put like turn and
It depends.
drown
Depends on
people.
who I'm fighting. Depends on who I'm fighting. No two. I try not to do any two fights the same.
Who are you fighting in Pride?
I'm fighting a guy named Matthew Maher,
Matthew Maher.
and he knocked out John Rigg on the last Pride with the left head kick.
I was actually I can tell you watch a million fights because I remember when I was just writing some stuff up for Hex DFC. I was messaging you, and you were like, "Yeah, this fighter does this, and this," and I was like, "Fucking hell, you." Not even fucking Tapology had some of these people's fights and stuff on. You're like, no, this guy did this fight with this person and this way, so you must watch everything.
Almost everything.
Everything, dude.
Almost everything. Yeah, everything worth watching for me, which is
No welterweight is safe.
Nah. Or middleweight.
In any sport.
Or middleweight.
Or middle.
Nah.
Middle would be interesting.
Middle's big, man.
Middle's big blokes.
The jump up is so big.
Is that 8 kilo?
Bro, I trained with this guy named Joe Brown, and he fought at the last DFC too. He won. He was the fight right before me. He's a middleweight. I stand next to him, and he looks like a super heavyweight.
Yeah, because middleweights, like a natural middleweight would walk around at about 95 to 100.
Yeah, 100 easy. 100 easy. 105 some of these guys, man. Like Rob Whittaker and that, they walk around 105 kilos sometimes. After Christmas, you know what I'm saying?
You never see how big these people are on television. Because I remember when I met Israel Adesanya, I was like, oh, you obviously know he's tall. But like in structure, he's massive. He's not like a skinny...
I heard he's a thick boy. He's got big hands too.
He's not a skinny tall dude. He's tall, but he's fucking so built. Yeah, such a big man.
Yeah, even welterweights that are tall, 6'3", like I don't doubt Ian Gary is freaking huge.
Ian Gary, see, it's unassuming though, because on TV you could look like the same size as him, but then when you see him in person, you're like, oh fuck, you're a big man.
Yeah, and some people carry their weight differently. Like some people are just so cut, and they have broad shoulders naturally, and they're wide. They got big width, but they're not. This way, they're kind of like GSP. Like, how big did he look?
Oh, bro, he's a gorilla.
Yeah, but then listening to his podcast and hear him talk, he said he never really cut that much weight at welterweight. He didn't cut that much weight.
He was more his natural size.
He more his natural size, but he looks huge. But it's just the way he holds his weight, you know, his physique.
That's like shout out to Ian Gary for taking that short notice fight with Prates.
Prates
dude.
is a killer.
That's such a risky fight. That's just balls of steel for Gary. Because Prates, there's such a thing in momentum in combat sports that I believe is real. I feel like you can be such a better fighter than someone technically and be more aggressive than them. But if someone's riding on a momentum wave, it's almost like a fucking tsunami. It's just hard to stop that wave.
It's another psychological thing, man. Like when you're on a roll, you're on a roll. You know you're on a roll.
There's something to
But
that.
also, your opponent knows you're on a roll.
Yeah.
Like how many of these power punchers have 5 knockouts in a row? Maybe it's not because they hit hard and they're power punches, but maybe it's psychological.
Because the other opponent knows that, if I get hit by this, I'm going to get knocked out.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that has a lot to do psychologically as well.
Yeah, it's all about mentally preparing.
Everything's psychological, man. Everything's psychological. You can beat people with your mind.
You're probably one of the most, like, for a young bloke, you're one of the more aware fighters of your mental space.
Yeah, well,
it seems like you've honed in on your, like...
Well, it's so important, man, because I never used to have that. My mind used to let me down, bro. The fights that I lost early on was,
you chose to quit kind of in your head.
Dude. Yeah, I chose to quit, and I wasn't because I had this strange relationship with fighting, and it was so close to me, and so normalized. It wasn't any big deal to me. So I wouldn't take the extra 1%ers. I wouldn't do that. And then when I would fight, when someone finally got it over me in the mental department, the floodgates opened. So that's what was really good. I learned about myself in this last fight. When it gets hard, I'm there now. I'm there. I can do it, and I beat probably the most mentally tough guy in the division right now, Sean Curran, because that's how he beats people. He takes
swallows you whole.
He swallows you. He makes it hard for him, but he also makes it so hard for you, right? So he'll fight a really hard fight, but he'll still be there in the 4th round, ready to fight. He'll still be there in the 5th round, ready to fight.
Weaponize it, and like, bro, I couldn't think of anything worse than being across from someone like a Curran or a Marab, just someone you know that in those later rounds you're going to look over and they're going to be bouncing around and you're fucked. And they know. Like, someone that can weaponize cardio and just swallow you as a person, that would be the worst case scenario, I feel.
Yeah, cardio. But even that's that fight cardio.
Yeah, fight cardio is
that
so
type of cardio
different.
you can't get from running 20 Ks, because once you get hit and you're rocked, or you get hit with a body shot and it's a really hard fight, the crowd's going crazy, then you go in the corner and you see your corner's frantic, you're thinking, fuck, like I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
That's when the fitness starts.
Yeah.
That's when the real fight starts up here. You know, all the physical stuff, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna hit someone else. But it's the mental side of things is the most important part.
100% it would be, because just you get hit and you fucking streaming blood down your eye. You can't see out your eye anymore. You can't breathe through your nose anymore. Your corner is trying to kind of stay calm, but you can see in their face, it's like, oh, fuck.
Because you know these guys so well.
Yeah.
Like the smallest little micro expression that's out of the ordinary between a round, you can pick up on it. So it's like, they're not directly telling you, but
just managing the adrenaline dump that you have, because everyone has an adrenaline dump. You just have to try and fucking mitigate it and navigate it.
Yeah, what's gonna happen if the fight lasts? It's gonna happen.
Do you get it? Do you still? What's the feeling for you now? Is it more of like, because you've done it that walk so many times? Does it ever get normalized, or do you still feel the same all the time?
You feel the same emotions. The emotions are still there. So you're excited. You're really scared.
Here's one. Give me your feelings and emotions from, say, the current fight, from the day before to the end of the fight.
Okay. Well, recently I've just been enjoying the whole process. So even the weigh-ins, the weight cuts, it's a shit thing to do physically, but I'm just grateful that I can do it now. And I'm grateful that I'm fighting. I'm grateful that I'm showing up to the event and everybody's there, and they're there to see me. They're there to see the other fighters, and they're going to be entertained by our fight. I get excited about that, and I'm grateful that I can do that first and foremost. But with all of that also comes I'm shitting myself, because if I lose, I'm going to feel disappointed. I could get hurt. All these feelings of fear, they cascade, and they're all running your mind. This is
the night before.
This is the night before. This is rocking up to the show. This is walking out. This is wrapping your hands. These are all these thoughts, 1,000 different thoughts at a time. All these different emotions. You're happy. You're sad. You're excited. You're scared, and this is all happening right until the first bell. Silence.
That gives me goosebumps.
Silence, bro. Silence. You're so in tune that you're not even thinking on a conscious level. It's not conscious anymore. You're almost like it's very close to an out of body experience.
It's like someone's controlling your body. It's just fucking muscle memory.
You're controlling your body.
Yeah.
Subconsciously, man. You're a genius in the subconscious. Like if you slow down, like I've slowed down all my fights and I watch just what I'm trying to see what I'm thinking, because like that spinning back punch, that's not something you train.
That came so fluently. It was just literally your body doing it, because like it just happened. There's
something takes over.
Yeah,
and that you got confidence in thinking, all right, when that thing takes over, I'll be okay.
Yeah,
I can do it because I've done it this many times. So now I just have faith in my training and my fitness, and then when it's time to fight, I just let go.
Yeah.
I just let go, and whatever that is, it just takes me.
It's like that really famous Mike Tyson quote, or not the quote, what he was saying in an interview, how when he goes, he feels like he's chained up, and every step he gets closer to that cage, and then once he
Confidence
gets in
grows.
that cage, he's a god.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, that gives me goosebumps just hearing that from just such a ferocious fucking man.
Yeah. Well, that was his game. He'd feed off the other person's fear.
That was one of the first fighters that I can recall. That's probably the only fighter I can ever recall people you can see them actually visually scared. Like in the cage with him, they would not make eye contact. No. Like
they're so scared that they can't even hide.
He would just be locking onto him, and as soon as they looked in his eyes, he's like, "You're mine now. You are fucked." And that would be just the worst thing to be opposite side, opposite Prime Mike Tyson.
Yeah. No, I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't imagine. But some people work with other people's fear, but the really good fighters, the greats, work off their own fear. Like John Jones says, if you feel those butterflies, but you got to get them flying in formation. You got to control that, and if you can do that,
that's a great quote. That's a great quote. I've never heard that.
Oh, that was John Jones.
Really?
John Jones, yeah, and it might have been from his coach Winklejohn. Even you feel the butterflies, but you got to get them flying in formation. You got to control them, which is true. You know, because if fear, like Mike Tyson, fear's like fire. If you use it, you can cook your food, you can stay warm. But if it gets out of control, it's going to burn you and everyone you love. You know, so that's exactly what it's like, and that's what fighting's taught me more than anything. Is that okay? When shit gets real and you're scared, this is how you manage it. You could think clearly. So like even in like times of peril or an emergency, I've got faith and confidence in myself that okay, I can do these things. I can think clearly because I'm so used to being that scared and have to think so quickly. So out of all the things that fighting's given me, that's probably one of the biggest things.
Do you have a favorite fighting quote, MMA quote, or combat sports quote in general?
There's so many. Anything John Danaher says.
Danaher's a fucking little Yoda, isn't he?
Anything John Danaher says, and a lot of people aren't in tune with him because he's a jiu-jitsu guy, especially these stand-up guys. But his philosophy around fighting and just the way he breaks things down and speaks about it is next level, bro. You can anybody from any sport or even any profession can learn from that guy. I think.
I don't think I would have a favourite MMA quote per se, but I'd definitely... One of my favourite combat sports speeches of all time was Teddy Atlas in the corner. I can't remember who his corner.
We're firemen.
Oh,
we're firemen.
Man.
He's another one.
Or when Leon Edwards was copping it from Kamaru Usman the first fight, and they got this mad video of them playing Rocky music behind it, and it's
you gotta get this shit out the fireman.
Oh, it's just a beautiful thing. Watching someone get pumped and then just pull it out is so much more special than watching someone dominate a fight. Like when Volk got out of that fucking triangle from Brian Ortega.
Oh, the guillotine. Mounted guillotine.
The guillotine with Brian Ortega, and just popped his head out and started beating the shit out of him, bro. There's just something so special watching someone come through adversity and just end up on top.
That shit makes me cry, man.
Yeah.
I cried watching that fight.
Oh, dude, it brings out so much emotion in you.
Oh, dude, especially if you know people who have been there or you've been there yourself, you know what it would be like in that moment. It's almost overwhelming.
I'm actually devo that I'm going to the casino to watch Volkanovski with 10 of my mates, because if he wins that belt again, I'm going to bawl my eyes out.
Oh, dude.
If he wins that belt back.
Yeah, well, it's good you go in a casino, because if he loses, you can just,
try and win it back.
Go crazy. Yeah.
Oh, bro, if he wins, if I just look at the TV and they just say, oh, it's overwhelming, he's overwhelming him, Herb Dean stepped in. Oh, my God, and knew again. Bro,
he's a good man. He's a good man, Volkanovski, from what I've seen from him.
He's just the epitome of an Australian combat sports athlete, much like Robert Whittaker.
Hard work,
funny, no shit talking, just funny, quick-witted. He would be someone you would be fine with your kid looking up to.
Oh yeah, for sure. But everything he's got was off of the back of hard work.
Everything.
Physically, he's what 5'4".
Yeah, he's not a physical specimen.
At featherweight, everything you can tell with people like that, everything they have, they've worked for. They're not. Obviously, they're talented, but they made themselves talented.
It's not like Alex Pereira has naturally gifted.
Exactly.
Like naturally gifted abilities. You can't train for some of his abilities. You have to be given them. Same as Charles Oliveira, or Charles Oliveira is one of my favorite success stories in the whole of the UFC. He just was getting pumped at featherweight, and then he moved up, and something in him just one day
a kid.
just changed, bro. And then he just strung together one of the wildest fucking streaks in MMA history.
He's good to watch. And every as his striking is damn
Just
good.
because he's one of those fighters that if he's losing, he could still win. Like you can never ever. You're never safe in there with him.
Yeah, you can tell who's a fighter and who isn't.
Yeah,
There's a fuck ton, especially at these lower levels. There's a fuck ton of guys that are athletes. They're sports people or they're hobbyists, but you can tell if someone's a real fighter because it doesn't matter how much you're paying them, they're willing to fucking die.
you got to kill him.
They're willing to die in the round.
Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, exactly.
Fight. I would rather fight a fucking tiger than fight Justin Gaethje because the tiger would have more like remorse.
He'll get you eventually.
Yeah, but Justin will just hammer you until you're dead.
Yeah. And he's got the skills and good coaching to back it up too. But there's also guys that aren't very skilled, aren't very talented, but are just that tough that they can make it to a certain level, relying on that toughness.
Yeah.
But then as soon as someone who's tough and smart comes around, they're pretty done for.
Yeah, so much like the Israel Adesanya in the Kevin Gastelum fight, like that last round where he's just saying, "I'm willing to die. I'm willing to die."
I cried during that one too.
It's
Bro.
fucking wild, just wild.
Face busted
Have
up.
you ever been ill? Obviously, your last fight was probably one of your more brutal ones. Do those things go through your mind of like, okay, do you have to come to terms with like the reality of the situation?
You know you're not gonna die.
You know you're not going to die, but it could be very detrimental to your longevity in life.
Yeah, but you're just thinking, fuck it, I'm just willing to go as deep as I need to in order to either get to the end or just finish this guy.
And a lot of those fights as well, it's whoever is willing to go the deepest. It's because one of you will have a point where you're going to bow out.
Yeah, who wants it more?
Yeah.
Who wants it more? And I've felt that on both sides. Like whoever wants it more, who's got more to fight for, because I once fought a guy named Tully Dunn. And he was a very sharp fighter, very skilled fighter. I could just tell he wanted it more from the first bell because he had cancer and he was in remission. So
It's hard to beat that.
Dude, he overcame cancer. What the fuck am I going to do to this guy? You know what I mean? And that was going back a few years. But that was a lesson I got from that fight, that whoever wants it more is probably going to get it.
Do your losses eat you up a little?
They used to, but losses are beautiful. Losses are the most important thing. And there's a big mistake about a loss or a failure. People, because of your emotions attached to it, because it's so serious and inside of you, you want to remove yourself from the loss, put it in the corner, don't even look at it. Whereas the way to approach a loss and learn from a loss is you gotta sit in it. You gotta sit in it and you gotta learn from it, because there's a reason why you lost. A lot of people can't even watch their fight that they lost. That's the first thing you got to do. Watch the fight. Okay, why did I lose? Was the preparation? Was it a specific technical mishap in the fight? Was he just better? You learn from a loss. Every loss is like a molecule. You know what I mean? And attached to it is an opportunity to learn and grow. So if you can use a loss, it's one of the most important things in fighting and maybe even in life.
So with that in mind, how have you learned, and how do you flip the switch when necessary to become an extreme competitor? And kind of like, is there two sides to your brain where like you obviously are very humble and very introspective, and then you can flip the switch and you go to a state where you're very like locked in and competitive?
Emotions, man. Emotions can make you very dangerous, but they also make it very dangerous for you, especially in the sense of a fight. So when you're approaching something, whether it's training, whether it's even watching film, you can get emotional watching film, watching your opponent. Like, shit, he just knocked somebody out. You start to you remove your emotions, get rid of all the emotions, and then you just see things for face value, how they really are.
It's also during the fight, it's probably very smart to not be emotional, like try and get that one back. Yeah. Oh, he just cracked me. It's like, no, follow the game plan.
You got to think. You got to be able to think. And if you're emotional, it skews your thinking. You make the wrong decision.
Yeah, it's a hard way. It's a weird way to make a living.
Even if that, 99% of people don't make a living from it.
Yeah, that's even crazier.
99, I guarantee you, maybe 98% of everybody who fights
won't make money.
Won't make money.
It's even
loses money.
I think it was the last Pride or the one before, when Isaac Richard made his Muay Thai debut.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
Like, fuck fighting him for free.
Yeah,
like
it would have got paid, but not worth fighting
way.
Isaac.
Like those punches like damage you for like a long time.
Yeah.
Like it's just fuck doing that for free, and people are so game. It's so interesting just seeing how game some people are.
He's a weapon. He's a very interesting. Specimen. Isaac Bullcat.
He's an interesting man.
That was a very interesting fight as well, because the guy he was fighting is the real deal as well. Mark, he fought a guy named Mark Stansfield, and as for a heavyweight, he's a southpaw. He's very, very skillful. Very skilled. The most skill you'll see in a heavyweight in Australia. I'll tell you right now. And Isaac going in for his first Muay Thai fight, because I was training with Isaac for that fight. And I was thinking, okay, let's see how this goes. That's a really tough fight. Isaac, in all of his fights, he comes out and fucking just canes the guy, kills him. Physically overwhelms him, and that's why he's the bull cat. He kills people. If he could, he'd kill them, right? But against Mark, he's a real technical guy, and he hits people and he knocks them out as well. So going in that fight, you've seen Isaac Bullcat's defense.
Yeah. And it's just, I'm pretty sure he damaged. Isaac is one of those guys that he'll hit you with a weapon just to injure you, even though he knows it's going to hurt you. Like, he'll go shin to shin with you just because he knows that it'll hurt you a lot more than it's going to hurt him. I'm pretty sure Isaac injured his leg within the first couple fucking seconds of the fight.
Kept throwing it
and he just kept throwing it. That
was a good fight.
Let's see whose shit's tougher.
Yeah.
And he's so athletic. And like you said,
Freaky.
if he could kill him in there, if there was no ref, he'd be so fine with it. He's just a different kind of dude. He's just a warrior.
But a lot of people who haven't seen the other side to him, his defense. He
doesn't get hit a lot.
In that fight, like I said, I slow things down. I watched people's reaction. He was so faster than any heavyweight I've seen, right? And I don't know if it's attributed because he was a goalkeeper, and it reaction
natural athletics, man.
Just naturally.
He's naturally, for his size, he's like 115 at the moment. He's over 100.
Something like that, yeah. He's very, very strong.
He went into M16 the other day, and Miles has said, I've never seen a cunt that fucking explosive at that size. He's a nightmare.
Physically, unlike anyone I've trained with, to be honest.
And even sparring him, I've heard he spars very hard. He doesn't have it in him to not go hard, and it's something to that. He's a special athlete, and
he is. I'm excited to see where he goes with it.
I just hope he chucks on those 4-ounce gloves and makes his pro MMA debut. I reckon some fighters kind of hold off, and life gets in the way. But I hope it doesn't for him. I hope it doesn't.
For a guy like that, there's also no rush.
He's still a young man, and he wants to fight heavyweight.
He will be dangerous until he's 40. And as a heavyweight or light heavyweight, how many fights do you need to have in Australia before you go to UFC?
We're a very
two or three.
small person country. String together 3 or 4 really impressive wins.
That's a year. You do 3 or 4 fights
straight to contender series.
Gone. One or 2 knockouts. Then even you're looking at the belt.
Do you struggle getting fights with people your size in Australia? It's a pretty common division-ish.
I did not at the moment. I did when I was in that middle ground. Okay, like you're better than all these guys that not taking it seriously, but you're not an elite level fighter yet. So now I'm sort of just breaking into that next bracket, and there's people around.
Yous are the future of the sport. The Matthew Stevens of South Australia. Eventually, they're going to be retiring soon, and then it's up to you guys to carry the torches.
You learn from these guys.
Matty's a fucking special athlete, man.
Special human.
He's amazing.
He's a very impressive human.
He's an amazing person.
Yeah.
He's much like his style. Actually, your styles aren't fucking too dissimilar.
Because who do you think I grew up watching, man?
Yeah.
And he's got a similar background.
I was going to say his karate style background.
He was a taekwondo.
Throwing that spin.
I think he was a taekwondo champion even.
He's just got those weird unorthodox fucking spinning attacks. He can leap in from like any kind of distance.
And then he adapted it to the style that he's fighting, K1 and Muay Thai. And then he's also Richie Elliott, who's really good at working the hands.
Bro, his hands are so good now. His hands are freakish.
Have
you done much work with Richie?
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
Richie's a gem, eh?
He's a gem, bro.
He's a gem.
Another one of those coaches who, philosophically, when he breaks it down, you can learn a lot from.
From a young age, were you cross training with a lot of gyms and stuff?
Yeah.
You've always done.
Yeah, always.
You've never had like a home base to say, like per se.
Well, yeah, we had like a little studio gym and stuff like that, but we just want to train somewhere. You don't need much. All you need is room to move. You know what I mean? All these CrossFit stuff that you can do in your own time somewhere else. But if you really want to learn to fight, what do you need? Maybe some pads, a body.
See, I had Kim Robinson on, and he has really strong opinions on like people when they train, they'll train like as if they're training for a marathon or something rather than a fight.
Yeah.
Like he's like, why are you running 20 Ks? You should be doing 10,000 kicks.
Be a craftsman first, be an athlete second.
Yeah, Kim's a wealth of fucking knowledge, man.
Yeah, that was good what he said, because it sums it up pretty good. A lot of amateur fighters coming up, they see what these professional level UFC champions are doing.
Like Michael Chandler with a face mask
with a face mask doing all this, but they already know how to fight. They already know how to fight really damn good, because they've been fighting.
They're just getting into shape.
Yeah. So, but then what an amateur fighter does is then they go and spend all this money at a CrossFit gym, get all this training done that actually is time, not wasted, but time that could have been spent learning how to actually fight, throw a right hand, throw a proper jab. You know what I mean? And get comfortable in the distance of fighting. I see so many guys that are just off their heads, so super jacked, they look the part, but then when they get in the ring, you know, how many times they throw a good jab? None, because they didn't put the time into learning how to fight. They put the time into getting in shape, you know?
Yeah, I think there is something, I never really thought of it like that. I was like, always like, oh, yeah, you want to be obviously as physically fit as you can, but I never thought you it's almost like wasting time. Not wasting time, but there are more beneficial ways of getting fit.
Everything comes at an opportunity cost. So you find a lot like take Matt Stevens for example. He's got a family, and he's got his full-time job that he works, and he's a professional fighter on top of that.
Yeah.
Every drill, every minute in the gym that he's in the gym for has to be valuable. He can't waste his time doing anything that's not gonna help him. You know what I mean? So those type of guys, I've seen how those guys train, and I sort of emulated that, because everything they're doing is for a purpose and for a reason. They're training to fight. You know what I mean? Everything else comes at an opportunity cost, and you only got so many amount of hours in a day.
It's much like Jack Spacey. That he's like, he trains similar to Kim. He'll throw fucking just 10,000 kicks to a bag. He's a psycho.
He's very good.
He's a special athlete, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's a special fighter. You can tell, like, some people are born for athletics, some people are born for fighting, much like Aaron Gonzalez from, I'm pretty sure you met him when in Bali.
Yeah, we went to Bali. I had eyes on him before that as well.
Special kid, man.
Yeah, dude.
Big for his fucking age, too.
Big for his age, but I'll tell you what makes him special and talented. Usually, when you see a young 16-year-old doing well, it's because their skill level is just crazy above their opponents, and they're out talenting these guys, right? But Aaron, he's fighting guys. He's better. He's been the more skillful fighter most of the time, but also even in Bali, he outdogged them, man. You don't see young people outdogging people like he is. He's talented, and he's also got a up here.
He's going to be someone to look for one day, man.
Sure.
He's going to be a fucking problem for people. Much like yourself, he started so young. He's going to have 20 fucking fights before he's 18 at the rate he's going.
Yeah, well, also now there's all these opportunities to fight amateur, and you can fight 5 times in 6 months.
I'm pretty sure he's fighting. I don't know if he's fighting on Pride. I think he would be.
Probably would be. Yeah.
I imagine he would be, and that if he does, that's like his 5th fight in 4 months.
Yeah,
or
just
something.
get experience. That's what it's for. Just get the experience and learn, win, lose. It doesn't matter. Just get the experience. And then that way, when you're a pro level fighter, you've been there and done that. Nothing comes as a surprise to you.
Have you noticed that Muay Thai is having a massive resurgence in Australia at the moment?
Yeah,
I feel like it, because Muay Thai died a bit. I'd say for like 5 to 6 years, MMA really cleaned up and took over. But now, since Pride even, there's like M16 has like 5-6 people that are fighting Muay Thai now. We hadn't had Muay Thai fighters for years.
Yeah, well, there's shows to fight on.
Yeah,
and even like back in the day, it was kickboxing. It was It was golden age kickboxing. So a lot of these trainers and stuff, they were kickboxers. So just coming up from that, Muay Thai, the resurgence you see now is because people are actually learning Muay Thai. They go on to Thailand, they come back, done whatever they do, they're learning Muay Thai, and they're fighting Muay Thai. And there's all these shows.
Have you fought kickboxing as well as Muay Thai?
Yeah, I like everything.
Have you fought Letway? Letway?
Oh, no way. I was though in the first experience I had when I went and fought in Thailand for my first fight. I was going to sign up to a Muay Baran fight, it's Muay Baran is what Muay Thai is derived from. It's the martial art that the military used to use, and it's like fucking anything goes, bro. Like headbutts. You wear ropes, hip tosses, everything like that.
So similar to Letway.
Yeah. I was gonna do that in my first ever fight.
Fuck that.
When I was like 14. And so there was 2 rings because it was like a world championship tournament. I looked at the kickboxing ring, Muay Thai ring, and I looked at the Muay Baran ring, and I just went, I'm gonna go this way, thank you.
Copping a headbutt like viciously would have to be one of the worst things.
Oh, bro,
that would suck.
If you're headbutting people, you get teeth in your forehead.
Oh, fuck that.
It would be bad. It'd be bad.
But so you got Pride coming up. Do you have anyone in mind that you would want to fight, or you see yourself fighting within the next year's time frame, or you're building towards?
Yeah, but it depends. It depends on what I'm doing. Like I'm in a lucky spot where I can go down any avenue. Like you said, the MMA, or go on these more kickboxing type of shows. So it just depends what I get. Like in the Muay Thai, there's good names to fight, but it's just if the opportunity and the risk matches the reward.
Are you doing this? Is this your full-time thing at the moment?
That's what I'm doing.
You don't work an outside job?
No, I was doing youth work. So work with naughty boys, or just boys that are disengaged, disadvantaged, because you can use you have respect straight up because you're a fighter. And I'm also young and Aboriginal as well. So I had that cultural connection straight away. Whereas when you're working with these young fellas, you really got to build that relationship, and a lot of people can't.
I heard they have there is a distrust. I don't know much about Aboriginal culture, or I grew up pretty fucking Greek. My family's all I'm first generation Greek. I was born here, but my parents, everyone was all born overseas. So we grew up in a very Greek household. I don't know much about Australian history, Aboriginal history. But I have mates in the youth work sector, and apparently the younger Aboriginal community still has somewhat of a distrust for white Australians. They build more of a connection if you do have Aboriginal heritage.
Yeah, I mean, there's just that cultural connection.
Yeah,
there's not many of us around. You know what I'm saying? So even the shopping centre, you see a brother, hey, what's up? You know, it's just that type of thing. But as a youth worker working with kids that are, haven't had the best upbringing, they got distrust against everybody. Everyone's out to get them.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna build a relationship, you need respect. Otherwise, they're gonna run over you, run through you. But you also need to try to build that relationship, be friendly and stuff with them. And
everyone respects everyone respects someone that fights. If you're ballsy enough to go in there, people already have somewhat of a respect for you.
Yeah, to a level for sure, especially amongst that demographic, because who's interested in fights? Young males. Yeah. So, being a youth worker but also a fighter, I'd rock up to this kid's house and what's wrong with your eye? And the parents would be like, why you got a black eye? It's like, oh, because it's sparring. And then from there, we build the relationship. So,
but you're full-time fighting now?
Yeah, full-time. I stopped that about end of last year.
What a dream, eh? Is that a spin out for you?
It's not as glamorous as it sounds.
Oh, it definitely wouldn't be, but just to be able to do what you love and not have do you feel like you've leveled up more in that time 100%. Than your whole life?
100%, and I've just got more to fight for because this is what I do.
Now it's either that or now it's
important. I tried to because my upbringing was all involved in martial arts. When I was 18, I was thinking, fuck, I'm just gonna try something different. So I stopped fighting, and I also stopped training for the most part. And I just went off, got a 9 to 5. I couldn't do it, bro. I couldn't do it. Next thing you know, 6 months later, I was dragged my ass back to the gym. I'm like, I can't do that.
So you're doing
classes.
PTs,
all that type of stuff. Sponsorship helps a lot as well.
Down at you have a home base at Cardio Flex now? That's the base.
Yeah, that's the base. That's the base.
I've heard, and your dad and your grandfather's involved in that as well.
Yeah. Mostly my father. My grandfather, he's getting on now, so he kind of wants to. He's like the headmaster. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, he wouldn't be able to holding, bro. You see,
he can still hold.
You can still hold. You see those old fellas that used to hold pads back in the day, man. Holding pads fucks you up,
dude. Alan Wong used to hold for Paul Sawinski.
Bro, that's why Alan can't walk, and he's he can walk, but he's very he looks like he's been holding pads for fucking Paul Sawinski.
Yeah, pads and fighting and training, it's a big ask on the body. Like my father will hold rounds for me and the other fighters. He's doing 30 rounds of guys that hit really hard. 30 rounds. Like the normal fighter doesn't do 30 rounds in a training session. He's there all night holding pads.
When you did jiu-jitsu, did you find yourself you've been more tired than you ever have in a combat sports scenario? Because it's a different level of fitness.
When I've wrestled, yes. When I've wrestled, but jiu-jitsu, I was there to learn. Yeah. And so I kind of put my ego aside, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to learn. I'm going to do everything I can do.
Wrestling's fucking wild.
Wrestling is a different story because you're there to learn, and then you just get double leg double leg and you're on your ass. Like
It's weird though, because striking, I have no doubt in my mind that you'd be able to hit 15 rounds of pads just fucking waking up in the morning. Like if you did like 3 rounds of jiu-jitsu, like hard rounds,
against
I
someone
reckon you'd be fucking knackered.
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
different.
it's such a different
it's a different fitness. It's a different fitness. But also, you see fighters who transition well, it's because they know how to struggle.
Yeah.
Like that, but and now they can still make decisions while
being fatigued.
Yeah, while being in a guillotine, your chin, you're biting your own teeth. You know what I mean?
Well, when people make stupid, it's about like not freaking out. As soon as you start freaking out,
just relax,
that's when
man.
it's over.
Just relax. So I think, like, if Adam Jones said I was any good, I think it's just because I just wasn't.
Jones said. I
just wasn't panicking. I didn't have the beginner. I wasn't skittish like a beginner, and I wasn't panicking. I would say.
Yeah. Well, this has been good. We won't keep it too long, but we're gonna have you back on after you win your fight. Hopefully,
yes,
you win your fight again in Pride, and then I can offer you a beer.
Done deal, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Legend, bro.
You're a weapon.
That was killer, bro.
Good luck.
It was killer.